rigorosamente todos os dias para manter os mais altos padrões. As pessoas que você vê aqui são a próxima geração da nossa unidade de operações especiais. Eles são os melhores dos melhores. Continue a empurrar. Não diminua a velocidade. Aumentem a velocidade na travessia pela lama. Se quiser descansar, use as pernas para subir naquela corda.
Trata-se de disciplina e sacrifício. E, finalmente, é sobre união.
O verdadeiro teste começa agora. Líder da linha de frente, sem exceções. Sim, senhor. Sim, senhora. Senhora. A força deve ser buscada. A coragem deve ser escolhida. E liderança significa perseverar até o final. Você organizou uma festa de Natal. Estou realmente feliz que você esteja seguro. Bem-vindo ao Instituto. Ali está o campo de testes principal. Nossos alunos treinam rigorosamente todos os dias para manter os mais altos padrões. As pessoas que você vê aqui são a próxima geração da nossa unidade de operações especiais. Eles são os melhores dos melhores. Continue a empurrar. Não diminua a velocidade. Aumentem a velocidade na travessia pela lama. Se quiser passar, use as pernas para subir naquela corda.
Now, something kind of fun, just so you know, is there is this I'm feeling lucky button. So if you just want to come in, have Google create something for you, you can click that button. But you can also have your own prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and build that. So now that we're building it, we're inside of AI Studio. And we can see on the left side, we have Gemini 3. It's starting to actually plan the interface, build out the actual app. It's going to write all the code for us. So this is similar to something like Lovable. Like if you have used Lovable before, this is, kind of a similar interface, an AI app building interface. You can also sync the code to GitHub, and that's something we're actually going to do later on, so we can get off of AI Studio and actually we're going to build in Cursor and then deploy it through Vercel. So these are all things that you can't currently do inside of AI Studio. Now, I know that something they have planned for AI Studio in the future is to give users the ability to add a backend and actually deploy all through Google and use Firebase, which is owned by Google, so all within their own environment. So as soon as that is released, I'll create a video on how to do it all within this one platform. But there are also advantages of getting off of AI Studio and going into your own environment and having full control over and decide, how you want to host it, what you want your backend to be on, whether you want to have Supabase, for example. So there are a lot of options. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. But the first step will be this prototype. We'll test it inside of AI Studio. And then once it's working and working the way that we want, we'll go off AI Studio and then put it on the Cursor, make some more edits, add a backend, and then deploy through Vercel. So here we go. We have our first initial mock-up of our prototype. It wrote all the code, so we can see, we can even scroll through the code if you want. You can edit it directly if you are technical and want to do that, but you don't have to know what any of that means. So it gave us two different options: land your internship, build resume, or grade resume. So we can click build, and this is kind of interesting. So let me fill this out and see what it looks like. So I just created a quick personal details section. I can add education. So I just added some education here. 4.0. Next step, experience, no code. MBA, founder, say June 2020 to present. And let's see, I run an AI platform or AI education platform. I wonder, so if I click AI enhance the bullets, it adds AI functionality automatically into your app. And this is where I'll show you later how we add our own Gemini API key. So we'll be paying for it once we add our API key, once it's off of AI Studio, but we're going to have to do that because you can't pop AI Studio and have other people use it like this. But I'll show you how to do that. But that's cool that, it was able to basically, as we're generating it, enhance the resume. And you can have more experience, but right now we'll just stick with one. We'll do next step, skills. Let's say communication. We'll say video editing, and we'll say AI app builder. And we'll preview the resume, and here we go. It created this nice little resume, and it's cool. It would just add the experience as we created it. I actually like this. And oops, go back to the preview. And then you can print or save your PDF. And that just saved it to my computer. So let's go back to, why don't we refresh and go back to the home page and we'll grade the resume. So this is interesting. So it wants me to paste the resume text to get instant AI feedback on content. So let me find a resume online that we can paste in. So I just found a resume online and I pasted it in, and I'm going to click grade my resume. And it could be cool to add in the ability to like paste an image as well, or upload a PDF, upload an image. But it's analyzing it. It's using Gemini to actually analyze it. So it has that AI functionality built in right off the bat. And then we'll see what the results actually look like. I'm curious. Yeah, okay, this is cool. And this alone like makes me excited and think about all sorts of lead generation tools that you could build with Gemini here. Like having this score, having it kind of score it on multiple criteria, on impact, clarity, relevance, and completeness, and giving me like all these improvement ideas. I think is very cool that it was able to do that. And you know, think about the prompt. It was one sentence and it came up with all of this. So of course, like, you know, the more detailed we would be in the initial prompt, the more it would be like what we asked for. But also something to keep in mind is sometimes it's better to start simpler and not actually, you know, give it like a ton of tasks initially, and then you can always iterate on it in the future. So, okay, so we've created our initial version. Why don't we add the ability in the grade to upload an image as well? So I'll say, can we add the ability to grade, and just ask it to add that functionality. And then after this, the next step is going to be to go to GitHub and sync it to GitHub. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Now, if you don't have a GitHub account, now is a good time to go to GitHub. Just create an account. It's free. It's easy to create an account. And that way, when you come here to the next step, you'll easily be able to connect your GitHub account to ai.dev, to the AI Studio, and then sync your code. Now, if that all sounds complicated, it's really not. It is actually super easy to do. It's like one click. And the way to think about it is right now, all of our code is just hosted here in AI Studio in Google. Once we sync it to GitHub, any changes we make here in AI Studio will also be reflected in GitHub. So GitHub is going to be like the source of truth. Then also, we can connect Cursor, for example, to our GitHub code, our GitHub repository. And any changes we make in Cursor are also going to be reflected in our one source of truth in GitHub. So this is why being able to sync to GitHub is so important, because it allows us to actually even get off of AI Studio and move on to other platforms. So hopefully that made sense. Just to kind of jump in here, what's cool is Gemini 3 Pro has this reasoning built in. So you can kind of, if you want, go in and actually see exactly what it is going to do and kind of its thought process behind it. So the way that AI Studio generally works is it goes through reasoning, decides what it's going to do, then it starts updating the code, and we can see, okay, it updated this file, it's working on the next file, and we'll go one by one through the files it needs to update to actually update the code in AI Studio. So it made the change. Let's go to grade resume, and now it looks like we can paste text or upload an image. So let me get an image of a resume. Resume example, and I'll grab an image and paste it in to our editor here. I'm going to drag it in, and this is just from Google, and we'll grade the resume. So now it's going to,
Finalmente é sobre
agora, frente, sem exceções. Sim, senhor, senhora. Buscada, significa personal. Festa de Natal. Estou que você esteja seguro. Ao Instituto, a listas principais. Nossos alunos treinam rigorosamente para manter as pessoas que a próxima geração operações são os melhores no empurrar dados. Ao travessia pela lama. Usas pela corda.
Trata-se de discurso. É sobre
o verdadeiro liderem exceções. Sim, senhor. Sim, senhora. Ser burida. Natal. Estou realmente esteja seguro. Tudo. Testes principal. Alunos treinam os dias para manter os mais altos padrões. As pessoas que você vê aqui são a nossa unidade de operações especiais. Os dos melhores. Empurrar. Não diminuir. Aumentem a lama. Use as pernas para
disciplina e sacrifício. E finalmente é
o teste começa agora. Líder da linha de frente. Sim, senhor. Senhora. Coragem deve perceber. Organial. Estou realmente. Seja seguro. Ali está a principal. Os alunos treinam todos os dias para padrões. Aqui são a próxima geração. Operações especiais. Melhores dos melhores. Continua a diminuir a velocidade. A velocidade. Se quiser descansar, subir naquela corda.
Disciplina e união.
O verdadeiro teste começa agora. Linha de frente. Sim, senhor. Sim, senhora. A força deve ser liderada. Conteúdo. Estou que você esteja seguro. O Instituto de Testes Principal alunos todos os dias para padrões. Você vê aqui, são a próxima geração de operadores. Continua a empurrar a velocidade. Aumenta pela lama. Usa aquela corda.
Disciplina e sobre
O teste começa agora. Linha de frente. Sim, senhor. Sim, senhora. Ser a curar e severar. Você organizou uma festa. Realmente esteja seguro. Instituto, a lista principal. Os alunos treinam todos os dias para padrões. As pessoas que você vê aqui são da nossa especiais. Os melhores. Cidade. Aumentem a velocidade na travessia pela lama. Se quiser descansar, use as pernas para subir.
Trata-se de disciplina e sacrifício e união.
O verdadeiro teste começa agora. Sem exceções. Sim, senhora. Senhora. A escolher perseverar. Festa de Natal. Muito feliz que você esteja. Bem-vindo ao Instituto, ao campo de teste. Nossos alojamentos para manter os mais altos padrões. As pessoas da próxima geração. Operações são os melhores. Nada. Ao na travessia pela descansar, vir naquela corda.
Disciplina e sacrifício sobre união.
O verdadeiro agora. Frente. Sem exceções. Senhor. Sim, senhora. A força deve ser escolhida. Você organizou uma. Estou realmente feliz que você esteja seguro. Instituto, a testes principal. Treinam rigorosos dias para manter os. Aqui são a unidade. Melhor. Empurrar. Não diminua a velocidade. Aumenta a velocidade na. Se quiser as pernas para.
Trata-se de disciplina e é sobre.
O teste começa agora. Linha de frente. Sem senhor. Sim, senhor. Ser escolhido. Severar.
Guess it'll use like a different model essentially. So, it has to analyze the image. So image to text instead of just, text to text. So here we go. We have our score, 68 professional skills work history, completed a 0. It's funny that it noticed that because, it doesn't have education. And I purposely did not take a screenshot with education. So that must have brought down the score significantly. I wonder if I do it again, but this time I include education, how that's going to improve the score. Because this will also be like a good test to see like if it's really working and what's kind of happening behind the scenes. And how much kind of each of those individual scores goes into the final score. So we had a 68, now we can see I added education, and let's see what it actually comes up with now. So now it went up to 82. And we can see I had to have education, went to 95. And let's just read one of these examples. Maximize impact in the work history by quantifying achievements wherever possible. Okay, so we could keep building this in AI Studio for a long time, tweaking it and adding features and improving the design. But the purpose of this video is to show you how to deploy this. This video is brought to you by Mocha, the all-in-one AI app builder that has the database, user authentication, email, and storage all built into one platform. Mocha was the Product Hunt product of the week, and it's trusted by over 150,000 users. I've been using Mocha myself, and I find it really helpful, especially when I don't want to use multiple platforms to go from prototype to a deployed app. Here's a time tracking app that I built for myself. And I want to specifically highlight for you how the database is integrated into the platform. So I did not have to build out this database. The AI just decides what data types it needs, and it will fully build it into Mocha without you having to integrate with something like Supabase or Firebase. This is super helpful, especially if you're less technical and don't want to deal with multiple platforms. Mocha tends to do a really good job of making apps that just work, and if there are bugs, the AI does a good job of fixing them on its own. Something else I like about Mocha is that it has user authentication through Google by default, which makes it super easy for users to sign in through their Google account. And when you're ready to publish, just click the publish button You can publish the app and your app will be live on its own URL. And Mocha also has the ability to add your own custom domain to any app that you publish. Mocha makes it really easy to go from idea to app, and it's perfect for building personalized software for your own use cases. There's zero setup and it's super easy to get started. Click the link in the description to go to Mocha and try it out for free. So we're going to move on to the next step now. So I'm going to save this to GitHub. So if I've already connected my GitHub account to AI Studio, if you haven't, then just go ahead and there's like a process to sign in through GitHub and connect it. So we'll create a GitHub repository name. It's going to be resume AI app description, a helpful agent for resumes. And visibility, I'll keep it private and I'm going to create the Git repo. So it's just going to save it here and then I have to stage and commit all changes. And now this will be on GitHub. And if I click this, I think it'll even bring me to GitHub so I can see it. Yep, there we go. So now we're on GitHub. All of that code is now on GitHub. And then if we make changes in AI Studio, this is actually really important. So I want to show you this. So if we're in AI Studio and let's make one change because I do think this is important. So let's say, I'm just going to say like improve, so we'll just do something simple. We'll have it just by making changes here, it's not going to get automatically pushed to GitHub. So it's not going to get updated. GitHub will not be updated until you actually press the button here to save to GitHub and stage and push the changes. So I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like here. There we go. Much better design. And let's go ahead and sync it to GitHub. So if we click Save to GitHub, so we can see there's 2 changed files since we last synced. So I can click Stage and Commit, and now it's going to upload it to GitHub. So otherwise it wouldn't be uploaded. So let's go back to GitHub here. And I'm going to show you now how we can now move off of AI Studio and start working in Cursor, which is the first step towards actually deploying our app live so other people can use it. So what I'm going to do is go to code and I'm just going to go ahead and